I just want to make enough to pay dividends, then invest in black businesses. They teach us to hate what we see in the mirror, but it can't break our spirit. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans, clean money with these dirty hands. Do a show, cop the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Standing, look in the mirror, how could you face that? Mask on, don't even know where my face at. Plenty, don't even know where waste at. All these in the room, how could you waste that? Huh? Why would you chase that? It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. No matter what, I'ma stay black. It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. Need more jewelry, what I tell myself as I'm writing my eulogy. Ask the mirror, how you put up with this?
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they've come in on a nice run of recent. And the Giants send out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. Fielded at about the 28. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And they'll go on the ground. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
play action. Wentz. The 20. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line. Engaged, because now they know they're going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
And he's got this one down to the 10. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now. Second and goal from the 1. It's a sneak. It's Wentz. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Carson Wentz scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent game, but
Still
all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how he, one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackle made that time by B.J. Hill.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. An Eagle first down there. Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been a running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
And they'll run it here. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as Scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now Wentz on third down. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Hang in there now.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. A great play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that?
And the Giants send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 10. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Wentz now on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking at... And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On play action, it's Wentz. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense is getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
The safety Landon Collins there to make the tackle.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked #1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Let's go. Great.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And his throw here's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And the division title out of reach, we know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the #5 overall seed.
So it's just a matter of adjusting now, isn't it? And what I mean by that is mentally. Every team starts the season thinking, let's go for the #1 seed, right? Being the top team. #2 is pretty great, too, because you get the opening bye, and you're at home after that. But it doesn't matter at this point. Just getting in, and you just sit down and talk to your team. Would you rather go on the road and deal with someone?
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Brianne Bonnie Calhoun. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Wentz to throw on second down. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Coverage that time by Bobby McCain.
That's just flat out a terrific play because it's rare that you see a hitch route batted down. That means someone read that one really well and was right on the spot when the ball got to the receiver.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. In a tie game, fourth quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before. They knew in certain situations the type of plays they like to run, read it, and were able to go after the football, get it, and take it.
Now Wentz to try again after the pick six. And a throw right sideline is complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Wentz going to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Takes this to the 45. Not much space after that broken tackle. Now we have Wentz here still down on the ground. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Heady on that one, huh? Getting out of bounds before the 2-minute warning. They get an extra timeout, extra opportunity to move the ball downfield. Very smart. Football.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Here we go now. 3.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your...
And the Giants send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now this is fielded in the end zone. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line. So not only do they get the fumble recovery on the punt, but now look at this field position. He almost took it the distance.
And the ability to not just make the play, but turn it into something big.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. He's back to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
They'll look to throw. Right, and that's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. Now they've got to signal that field goal unit, and they have to sprint out there in a hurry.
And this is always difficult on the snapper because his heart rate is way up there. He's got to calm himself enough to make an accurate snap.
Back to throw. Ertz over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. An Eagle first down, wins to Ertz.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Philly.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles. With that, let's get up to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. We're standing by for the call are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in playing reasonably well. Losers the last time out, but winners of 4 of 5 before that. Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point. But, boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is.
Come on now, let's go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And they'll run it here. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They give them 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Now they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. It's the Eagles with the early lead. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out.
On the ball.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Ha-ha, Clinton Dix there for the stop.
Hang in there now.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the first. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
To throw, it's Wentz. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Eagles on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw is Wentz. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. As his guys are in for 6. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
I think if you...
So on fourth down, the Redskins will call on Tressway to punt it away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. From the gun, it's Wentz. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a gain of 5, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. The Redskins now going to use the... Here's Tressway now. Standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 18. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Wentz now on 1st down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Wentz will try again on 2nd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Into the Redskins' hand it they do. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he powers his way up past the 30. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome into our EA Sports Halftime Report. A busy final day of the regular season, so let's get to it. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And it's the Bears who have the lead. Anthony Miller, a touchdown reception. From there, let's stay in the Midwest and head down to Kansas City to check on the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. Patrick Mahomes killing it. 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Juju Smith-Schuster, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our...
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken at about the 14. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get this up to about the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And they'll go on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Barthema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell him, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
Now Wentz looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Morgan. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And they'll run it here. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And oh, he coughed it up. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain.
Defense.
The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Let's go. Great.
And they'll go on the ground. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And room there to work it inside the 25. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. They will take the knee here, and they will finish this regular season with a victory.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left hand. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal: win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for Philadelphia, a final win means they will finish off the regular season at a very strong 12-4. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Washington, they wanted desperately to finish at 500, but that won't happen, as it'll be a 7-9 season in the end. And they can take solace in the fact that this team never
You